Hey everyone, thank you for joining me. So as you know, I'm slowly working my way through the Warhammer 40k Combat Patrol for Orks. We've managed to get the War Boss done, 10 of the boys done, and the Death Dread. So I thought I would work on the Deffkoptas next. I'll just show you what they look like on the sprue. So that's how the Deffkoptas come, the three of them, as you saw on the page there. So you basically snip the parts out and glue them into place. Although it's interesting that these are quite good at snap fitting. Whether that was the intention, I don't know, but I'm pretty sure it probably was. I have built up two of the three, so I'll just show you those quickly. So here they are. The only thing is I've left the arms off. Well, this one's got his arm there, but I've left the other three arms off because I thought it'd be easier to paint where the arm covers the torso or something, and then I'll add the arms at a later date. So when you see this next, all three would have been constructed and probably primed. So I'll see you in a bit. Okay, so all three Deffkoptas have been constructed, and as you can see they've been primed with, I've actually used colour forges matte black because it is a very matte black, and I think it's probably better than Chaos Black, which I never thought I would say. Chaos Black was my go-to spray paint, but yeah, really like the colour forge matte black. So the next thing I'm going to do is I'm going to dry brush all these with the 8K gunmetal because I really like the result I got on the Death Dread. And then once I've done that, I think I'll paint each Deffkopta individually rather than trying to do a process of all the blues on each of them and then all the green for the orc skin on each of them. I think I will concentrate on one at a time. So the next time you see these, I'll probably show you with the dry brush of the gunmetal. Okay, so I got a bit carried away. I dry brushed the gunmetal from AK on the Deffkoptas, but then I did start adding the deep blue from AK on these. The deep blue needs another coat, I think, to make a nice solid colour. I'm not going to do too much more, I think, of the blue on these. The rotors will have blue on the blades, on the upper surfaces, just to give it a bit, give them a bit more colour. Obviously, I want to be adding coppers and some reds and whatever, green, to some of the cables and things like that, and then the missiles on the front of two of the Deffkoptas need to have white added to the front and so on. So still plenty to do, but I'm really enjoying doing these. Obviously when I complete these three, I think the only thing that's left from the Combat Patrol will be another 10 Ork boys. So I'm getting well, I'm cracking on with it, shall we say, and it will be the first Combat Patrol that I will complete. Fingers crossed, and I don't actually lose the mojo, but things are going well at the moment. Anyway, I shall catch you in a bit with another update. Right, so I thought I'd do one more update before the final reveal. As you can see, I'm cracking on with them. Some areas of the Deffkoptas have got like a gloss finish to them. That's where I put a gloss varnish because I was putting the decals in those locations. I'm hoping that the matte varnish will bring it back to obviously a matte finish all over. I've quite enjoyed doing these, although I must admit the mojo seems to be wearing out a bit. There were some parts where I thought, you know what, I can't be asked to paint that. But I've tried to keep the gunmetal in most areas, but I did want to break it up a bit with some colour, and obviously blue is the is the colour that Deffkoptas have on their machines and equipment. So the Deffkoptas, I think, notorious for looting. Quite often they will stop when there's a battle going on just to loot stuff off things. I did want to try and put some Space Marine or Imperial Guard decals on them to make it look as if part of the machines are made up of metal that they've robbed from planets that were under the Space Marine control or under the Imperial Guard control, but we shall see. The rotors have been painted, so they can go on. Unfortunately, I've snapped one. I don't know whether I've already mentioned that I've snapped one, so I've got to try and put a pin in there so that the rotor will fit back on that. So yeah, so the next time you see these, they will be finished. Okay, so here is the final reveal of the 3 Deffkoptas. I'm going to show you them one at a time and then I'll show you them all together. So managed to obviously finish the basing on these, managed to do a bit more painting on them, added the rotors to the tops as well. As I say, I'm really chuffed how these have turned out. I think they look really good. This one, he's carrying a huge bomb underneath whilst he's flying in, trying to shoot a pistol as well by the looks of things. So a bit mad, this one. Let's look at the next one. So one of these with the 3 blades is the one that snapped, but I've managed to pin it, hopefully, fingers crossed. So as you can see, this one's got 4 rockets on the front. I just kind of gave them a red and white motif. The decals for the Deffkoptas, a lot of them are blue, and unfortunately they don't show up on the blue that I've chosen. So you got like a skull face, but you just can't see it. So I've had to try and select bits of where it's just like a natural metal in order to put those on, and where we've got blue paint, perhaps put white decals on, just pure white decals. Again, really liked making up the bases for these. Obviously where the Deffkopta is attached to the base, that is all plastic which comes with the kit, so it's just a case of painting that part of the base up. So our final Deffkopta, again we've got I think we've got 6 rockets on the front of this one. We've got an odd looking creature right down there on the base. I don't know whether you can make it out, but it's kind of yellow and pink, and it's got a stinger on it and like wings. But we got the white decals on this one. I've managed to put them, as you can see, on the blue areas. Nice thing that did happen, if you remember, I used a brushed on a gloss varnish, and I was hoping that the matte varnish from Colourforge would bring those areas back to a matte finish, and it has worked superb. I am over the moon with that matte varnish from Colourforge. I'm using their black as well. They're matte black. I'm not using Games Workshop's Chaos Black anymore because it's a much more matte finish. So yeah, so that's the third one. Let's get them all together on the turntable. So there they are, guys. Obviously this forms a unit. I don't know whether you can add more to the 3, or whether you can have them in the multiples of 3, or whether you can only have a unit of 3 and then another unit of 3. I don't know. But of course, these are from the Ork 40k Combat Patrol, similar to the boys that I did, and the boss in Mega Armor. So there's just the 10 more boys to do. So I'm nearly there, finishing my first combat patrol, which will be really cool. Right, this has been quite a lengthy video, I think. Thanks ever so much for watching. I do appreciate it. Thank you for the kind comments on my previous videos. They really do give me a boost, confidence boost, so thank you guys. Look after yourselves, and I'll catch up with you soon.